Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our next guest, we've been looking forward to talking to him for a long time. He won critical acclaim with his first book, looking inside the world of boys, the big book of boy stuff. And now author Bart King is diving into a subject we wonder how he knows so much about. It's called The Big Book of Girl Stuff. Let's find out as we welcome to AM Northwest Bart King. Good morning, Bart.
Good to see you again.
How are you, sir? Good to see you again. I remember when you were on the show for the Big Book of Boy Stuff, and we said, well, you know, next you got to do the Big Book of Girl Stuff. You said, well, maybe, and there it is.
I thought you were kidding. One of those Dave Anderson jokes, but yeah, it did come together. So fortunately for me, I have 5 sisters.
Right.
So I turned to them,
sisters.
5 sisters. So and they were all coincidentally girls at one time. So I turned to them for help immediately, and that went so well, actually, that I started to enlist the help of former students. So I had about 50, a brain trust, really, of about 50 former students, mostly high school girls at Sunset High School.
Did you find, as you were putting this book together, that boys and girls really are different? I know that's a simple question, but I mean, when I look through the book, I'm seeing some differences.
Yeah, you know, if I could sort of typify the differences through the 2 books, I suppose. This, I had no trouble working on myself. It's a deeply immature volume put together by a perhaps disturbed mind. For the girl book, you know, this needed to be sort of a more relatively nuanced, sophisticated book, something I really had no business being involved with. But once again, by interviewing, I got a lot of great ideas. So it came
It's
together.
funny, you answered some of the questions on the back here. How to give the perfect compliment. Why do boys smell so bad? How to make a fake belly button piercing, right? How to spot a liar. There's a good one. What to do about a killer crush, and how to make a friendship bracelet. Those are all things you...
Right, and I do actually leave out the information about how to make an enemy bracelet, which is apparently outlawed in the state of Oregon. But friendship bracelets are...
Friendship bracelet, okay, yeah. All right, good. And also, when I go through the book, there are a lot of little terms that are foreign, I think.
A little bit of girl slang?
It's girl... Yeah, let's go through some of those.
Okay,
and tell
sure.
us what they mean. So
Of course.
let's take a look at the first one. This is girl slang, ATM.
Ah, this would be a girlfriend who has no compunction about spending her money with you.
Oh.
So, yeah, likes to spend money.
I like that.
Really? Okay.
You should be more like that.
Okay, our next one is face mail.
Face mail, right. We're familiar with email, of course, and maybe you've heard of Shaw mail, which is where you send email with attachments, pictures as attachments. Face mail is what we're doing right now, actually.
Oh, talking
we're
face to
engaged
face.
face to face. It's a very unusual thing in today's electronic age. We're not virtual, we're real.
Well, because I would imagine, you know, I see most people now, I'll go to a restaurant and I'll see a bunch of teenagers sitting there with just their cell phones text messaging one another.
Absolutely.
It's like, why don't you put them down and talk? They're right there across from you.
Yeah, well, you get better reception if you're close by. So.
All right, let's take a look at our next girl slang and burn the pom-poms.
Right, burning the pom-poms.
I have no clue.
Not a slam on cheerleaders. It simply means that it's time to get to work and not mess around anymore. So no more talking about it. Time to actually do it.
It's not just applicable to cheerleaders, but anything. Like when Helen's going to work in the morning, time to burn the pom-poms.
Right.
Is that it?
Wake up, smell the coffee,
Yeah,
burn the
get-
pom-poms,
Oh,
then you can smell the pom-poms and the coffee.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
right.
Okay, our next girl slang, biphonal.
Biphonal, right. Unfortunately, I'm only uniphonal at the moment, but if one were to, I've actually seen this before, and this was the first
Here we
slang
have
term.
another
Oh,
one
beautiful.
for you.
I remember seeing a girl while I was with a girl, and she was actually like this, talking on 2 phones, and essentially translating from one to the other. So
That
face
is
mail
funny.
really would have been better for her, but
She was
talking on, 2 at the same time. So she was biphonal. I don't know if triphonal is possible, but I suppose
It'll happen. Well, maybe with a headset, a wireless headset.
There we go. Yeah,
Could do that.
blue teeth.
Blue teeth. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Okay, we have one more girl slang.
Okay.
Let's e-mauler.
The e-mauler, this is the feared person who flames others online, a person who writes mean emails, which we know can't happen in our virtual community.
No, it never happens. I was reading through the book, and as a parent of both a son and a daughter, I'm fascinated by what you're telling my kids. But one of the early things in the book, you talk about babysitting, because girls are very, very much in demand as babysitters. But I have to take issue with you, friend. You're saying that they ought to at least earn the minimum wage. What are you trying to do to us?
Well, you know, I've been by the palatial Anderson estate, and I've seen that I'm guessing that you probably pay your large staff of landscapers minimum wage to mow your lawn.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that you'd want to do the same for the people who watch your children.
Yeah, all right. So but you have a lot of useful tips on how these young girls can navigate through the everyday world, and a lot of fun stuff for them, like biphonal.
We try to keep it upbeat and really positive and fun.
You've got a book signing, too, on the 22nd at Powell's on Burnside. Check it out, The Big Book of Girl Stuff. It's half as popular as a boy book. It's going to be awesome. So congratulations.
Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming by.